One of the few deists with a D, as in dog, um, on YouTube, so far as I'm aware, is the YouTuber Religion Free Deist. And recently, Religion Free Deist has been um, talking about Paul in the New Testament and whether he believed in the resurrection or not. And the basic idea is that Paul does not believe in the uh, resurrection as traditionally presented in uh, Christian churches. Um, and this is a view that people run into from time to time. Professional scholars teaching in seminaries and theology departments, religion departments, they sometimes will say this. Um, but I myself think that's a very hard thing to maintain. It seems quite clear that Paul does very much believe in uh, the resurrection of Jesus. Jesus coming back to life from the dead, the tomb being empty, and Jesus, taking up his life again, defeating death. Well, um, as I was watching some of these videos, excuse me, of Religion Free Deist and interacting with him on some of the things he had to say, I thought it would be good to do my own series of videos on this topic. And uh, the point of what I'm getting at is not to respond to him, although a lot of what I say may apply to things that he's saying as well, religion free deist. But I just wanted to approach it not as a response to him, but as kind of an isolation. So this is kind of my own take on um, this topic. Did Paul believe in the uh, uh, resurrection? Um, so before we can really say what Paul believed and what he wrote about and didn't write about, we need to know what it is that Paul wrote. In the field of New Testament scholarship, um, some of the letters that are said to be by Paul are not believed to have actually been written by Paul. So, for example, in the King James Version, it will say the Epistle of Paul the Apostle to the Hebrews, but most scholars would say that Paul didn't write Hebrews. Um, so there are 7 letters that most scholars and even many evangelical scholars, I think as well, would agree with this. There are 7 letters that are said to be uh, written by Paul, and then the other epistles, uh, many scholars, most scholars, in fact, would reject as being by Paul. I think they're all by Paul, even perhaps Hebrews. Um, but uh, almost everybody will agree that at least these 7 really were written by a historical person named Paul, who is uh, said to be, the apostle uh, to the Gentiles in the book of Acts, I guess. All right, so these 7 epistles, and you can find this on, if you go to Wikipedia, you can type in Pauline epistles. That's Pauline, then epistles Epistles, Pauline epistles, and it will list these 7 letters: Romans, Philippians, Galatians, Philemon, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, and 1 Thessalonians. Romans, Philippians, Galatians, Philemon, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, and 1st Thessalonians. So each of those letters, at least, were written by Paul. The other ones are up for debate, perhaps. So 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, those ones are doubted to have been written by Paul. But the scholarly consensus is Philemon, Philippians, etc. So those 7 letters, within those, we want to ask, does Paul teach that Jesus rose from the dead and that there was an empty tomb? That is the question. So whether one believes what Paul is saying is historically true is not what we're going to be looking at. What we're going to be looking at is, did Paul say that it is true? Did he imply or did he say explicitly that Jesus did come back from the dead? Alright, so this is the introductory video. I'll be doing some more in the near future, and we're going to be looking at those particular letters only, and maybe not even all of them, but we won't look at the disputed letters, just those 7, or within those 7. Thank you. It's going to be interesting, I think, and a lot of fun. Stay tuned, and have a great day. Shalom.